Three women break down.
Three women break down life as mothers, wives, and boss bitches, all while keeping it together with coffee, duct tape, therapy, smut books, and each other.
Get the kinks out with us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Kinks Out. Mars and Geeg here with another Kinks Out Minisode. I think that's what we decided to call them. And today we are talking QB Tyler's new book, The Nanny is Off Limits. We got a advanced listener copy because we listen.
ALC.
ALC. I had to think about that because we normally we do ours. We got an advanced listener copy, which I think was our first audio that we got. We've gotten ARCs with books with them, like the physical books, but this was the first one that was just audio.
And you know I'm a sucker for an audiobook.
And I am not. So we'll get to that. I don't normally do audiobooks, but I did this one audio. So yeah, let's talk QB Tyler. The Nanny is Off Limits. Shout out to QB and her team. Thank you for sending us the ALC.
It's hard to get out.
It is hard.
We're used to the ARC. Yeah.
We're used to the ARC. Yes, thank you for sending us the ALC. Thank you for this ALC. We loved it. And yeah, we can talk about it now.
Well, we know how you love giving a good synopsis, so part of me feels like I need to just let you do it. But
okay, I will if you want. I don't care.
Well, I was going to say, I can pop in a little bit. So it's Rowan, who's 43. He's divorced and widowed. And then Eliana, is that how you would say it?
Yeah.
Because everyone else called her Ellie. But like
Ellie.
And then Eliana is 25. Her mom died when she was a teen and she cared for her younger sisters. So I feel like that's kind of how, like because Rowan's a single dad.
He is.
3 kids.
He has 3 kids. He has Isla, who's 6, Sawyer, who they also call SJ, is 10, and Margot is 16. So those are big age gaps, and the thing is, so yes, he's a widow, but he was also divorced. So they were divorced, and then his ex-wife passed away. So they had been co-parenting, and then, about a year before the story starts is when their mom passes away, and he gets like thrust into the throes of full-time parenting, which is hard enough on its own, and then having to, 3 kids who lost their mom is a lot. So the story starts with, and we should say it's narrated by Stephen Dexter and Audrey. I'm going to butcher her last name and I'm sorry. Obian, maybe. And they did a fantastic job. So Stephen Dexter, I would listen to an audio book.
He sounds older and has such an allure voice that I can just picture like him with salt and pepper hair, like some in his beard. It hit.
Yes, I would agree with that. And same with Audrey, who did Eliana. Sounded younger, had that more like younger tone of her voice, everything. So I think that those 2 parts, I guess, were cast really well for them. If you do decide to do the audio version, we'll get to my take on audios, but
hot take.
So the story starts with like Rowan getting a call from his son's school that his son SJ is very, very smart. So he's already like young for his grade, and they kind of think he's not being challenged enough. So he's just getting himself into trouble. So he gets a call and he has to go to the school and pick him up. And his brother River helps him out a lot. So, Rowan is dealing with all this, and River has Isla at the grocery store, and she is trying to get cookies by herself and runs into Eliana. And her and Eliana sort of start to talk, and Eliana asks if her mom is there. And Isla, gets upset and says, no, my mom died. And Eliana immediately, that pulls at her heartstrings because she had the same thing happen to her. And River comes over and, they kind of get to talking. And River basically is like, my brother needs a nanny. Do you want the job? And as it turns out, Eliana was a nanny. And she agrees to meet Rowan and, shows up and meets Isla and Sawyer and meets Margot last because Margot's 16. She doesn't really like need a nanny, but Margot has taken on the burden, similar to Eliana did. Um, and Eliana ends up starting to nanny for Rowan and the kids. And that's how the story starts.
Hot Daddy Rowan.
Uh, yeah. Okay. So, I love an age gap book. Like I do. You like a reverse age gap, but I am like a sucker for an age gap. So yeah, this is age gap. It's, they're thrown into this setting and there's like an immediate attraction. Like they're obviously both hot. So like how can there not be?
Absolutely.
They have this mutual attraction, really from the beginning. And they're both like,
Yeah.
no, she says she doesn't get involved with people she works for. And he's like, she's too young for me. Like, the usual. This is a very like,
Yeah.
I want to say like a classic, nanny boss story. But it's also not the same as every other one.
It's not, but for some reason. So I love Fran Drescher. Did you ever watch The Nanny? Because I mean,
yes.
He was older, had older kids. She came in, and like, I know that that's like not a comparison. Like, I mean, I feel like they were both hot in their.
Yeah.
Like the 90s or whatever when that show was on, but I loved that show so much.
I think QB posted a reel or something that had like the nanny on it. And I want to say that was like the inspiration for the book. I feel like I saw that she's like, that's where this started. Is it like she saw a nanny reel or something and she was like in the middle of writing something up. Yeah. And like go to her Instagram after this and look, because I'm like 99.9% sure that like that show inspired this book, which I love because I love that show. And looking back now, it's like, it's so funny because you don't think about it as much when you're a kid, but like I love that, like this storyline. Like I love a good nanny boss book. I love them.
Yeah.
I read
proximity because like she's got to live with them. It's like this.
Yes. It's a little bit taboo because of the age, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, he's divorced. He's a widow. Like he has a ton of baggage. She has that, like, I want to say almost like a hero complex, where she feels like, even her best friend is like, you want to rewrite the past, type of deal where she went through the same situation that these kids are going through. And she's like, I want to help them. I want to do everything I can. So they both have a lot of like emotional baggage.
Yeah.
And they're not great at like, expressing it, I guess. They just kind of keep it all inside. So there's that little bit of like, yes, no, are you attracted to me? Is this just a fling? Because of course, like they start hooking up. They can't like resist each other anymore.
In the house.
And then like they decide that they're, oh my God, that was when, okay, so the audiobook portion of this. I do not usually listen to audiobooks only because like I don't have a subscription to Audible. I read everything. That's really it. And so this is the first full audiobook I've listened to. Because I liked it so much, but I was cracking up because I read some unhinged smut. The series I just finished, they were jizzing into cupcake batter. Like I read a lot of crazy cupcakes. They were making cupcakes and then they made cockies. But anyway, so I'm just saying, like, I read some unhinged stuff and I can read it and it's fine. I can sit at a little league game and show zero emotion over reading these things. But I was like walking my goddamn dog and, Rowan's eating her out on his desk with the door open. And like, I'm like, how am I doing these mundane tasks while all of this is happening? And I wish somebody had been recording me because my face was probably like, oh my God.
Like, I think when you're listening to audio, you then have this fear that like your stuff is going to be like disconnected. And then like, you're just walking down the street or you're like sitting near other people and all of a sudden, like he takes a deep inhale.
Yes, he did. He took the first time he went down on her, he's a deep inhale. Like, whew, like,
I
it was
know.
so good. Yeah, like please let everybody know, like I loved it. But I just had to laugh. Like I was texting you the whole time, being like, I'm washing dishes and they're, boning on the just it's hilarious to me that I am able to read what I read, but listening, I was like giggling like a little schoolgirl
They
over
were my
it.
favorite. It was my favorite parts of the day when you would send me whatever you were listening to. I was just like, a QB even liked it because we were
She
messaging
did.
on Instagram and we were just like, this is happening. Like, you were just,
I was
woo.
like, I am on the sidewalk and Rowan's balls are aching. Like, it's just, those things should not be
Oh,
connected. And I loved
loved it.
it. Now I'm like, maybe I could be an audiobook girl, but at the same time, I have to, yeah, I got to work on my face because it was
Oh no,
definitely
I
like,
know for a fact that sometimes I'm like, so I'll listen to when my husband comes down from work, kids are feral, I'm making dinner or what, getting ready for sports, whatever. And I have like sometimes I'll just put like one AirPod
hmm
in the zone, cooking. And I sometimes want to like set up my phone so I could see my face like as I'm like scooping out pasta and I'm like, woo, woo, oh, like my
yeah,
facial expressions are about like, hot damn, girl. Like
yes,
just whatever. Like I know for
we
sure. Yeah,
should do
we
that
need to.
because it would be
I think we're gonna
hilarious.
need to.
It would
If
be
anybody has
hilarious.
any book audio recs that are just like fire and that you are are surprised or blown away or something, give us some recommendations so we can do this because
Preferably
what
narrated by Stephen Dexter. We need to see what
hell
else
yes.
he's narrated because I love him. So yeah, so I was cracking up the whole time because like I really liked the story too. But at the same time, I was like, how am I just going about my business listening to this, listening to some of these
Yeah.
scenes because the spice is spicy. A couple other points in this book that I really liked was that, Eliana is like the caretaker. And one of the things Rowan says, like after, that they're deciding they're going to like give this a shot and everything, he says, she hasn't made a statement that she's like, I just feel like nobody hears me or anything like that. And he said, I hear you. And then he said, you're strong for everybody else, but like, who's strong for you? So which I loved. I thought that he was like
Yeah.
very caring of her too, very much wanted to like protect her and all of that, which is like, he was very sweet to her too. It wasn't just
Yeah.
this like, you're hot, I'm hot, let's
Yeah,
fuck.
no. They had such a good connection and they tried to fight it.
They
You know what
did.
I mean? Like they really did try to fight it.
They both
Ooh.
did. And then at first they weren't kind of sure if it was just like lust, but then they very quickly realized no, they had very real feelings and they hid it from the kids as best they could. Oh, spoiler alerts. We should throw that out.
Whoops. Listen, if you haven't read it, you're gonna go read it immediately anyway. It's fine.
I'll read it anyway after hearing it. It's so good. But yeah, they tried to hide it from the
Or
kids.
listen. Go listen. Go listen.
Go, yes, go listen. Absolutely, actually. I recommend listening to this one, but like, while you're doing mundane tasks. And they thought that they were kind of doing a good job, but they weren't. And, Isla, or not Isla, Margot is like, yeah, I realize that you guys are doing something. And she's not thrilled with it at first. And,
Understandable too. I
oh,
mean, she's
yeah,
16. Eliana's 25. So it's like, not that it's a huge. I mean, yeah, you can get it. And plus, she's 16. Like, everybody sucks when you're 16.
that's true. That's very true. And, she lost her mom a year ago and she's still handling that whole situation, which is really, really hard to go through. It's very hard to go through your teenage years without a mom. I can like speak from personal experience. It's very hard. And then to have this person so close to your own age kind of come in, I get it. I absolutely understand Margot. And that,
100%.
yeah, it's, but Sawyer and Isla are both like, yeah, it's great. Like, we love this.
Yeah, they love her.
And they love Ellie. And so they both, they're just kind of going about business. And Ellie's dad ends up having a heart attack. And they're in Ohio and Maryland, I believe. So she is like, I have to get back to Ohio to, or Maryland, whichever state. I have to get back there and take care of my dad, blah, blah. And Rowan's like, I will go with you, which again, like so sweet. He's like, we'll move. He's like, fuck it.
Which also, I want to state, I feel like, so if I'm reading cowboy books, they're mostly like Montana or like Texas or whatever, like, country.
Yeah.
But then when it's like billionaire or mafia, it's like they're in
New
Chicago,
York.
Boston, New York. Nobody's in like fucking Ohio.
No one is in Ohio. People who live in Ohio don't want to be in Ohio.
Exactly.
I don't know,
But
actually.
yeah, I loved that.
I did too.
It was Maryland and Ohio. Like, yeah.
Yes.
I just loved that. Like,
yeah. It's,
also,
yeah, it's
too, I did really quick look up the thing from QB where she says whenever she was saying like the nanny is off limits is live, and I definitely want to thank Fran and Maxwell for being the final push to write a single dad / nanny book. I hope you guys love this story as much as I loved writing it. So yeah, like it was straight up. Good
I love it.
The nanny.
Mr. Sheffield. Which, like, looking back, I mean, she's not wrong.
We need a reboot.
We do need a reboot.
I feel like we need to petition for a reboot, and also kind of we need like this to get picked up by something. So the nanny is off limits needs to be picked up for.
Yeah, I agree. This would make a great movie.
Netflix, don't put it on like ABC or
no.
Like
the
CW.
I was just gonna say this couldn't even be on the CW.
So we need something like Stars or Max. So
yes,
like X-rated. Anyway, I digress.
We actually just want nanny porn. I don't know.
Apparently, that's where we're going with this.
Actually, so it can be X-rated. We actually just want age gap nanny porn. Thanks. With a little bit of love mixed in.
Just a drop.
A drop here and there on the desk.
Oh!
Anyway.
She went there.
She sure did.
One of the things that you had in the notes was hating the PTA moms that were single.
Oh, yeah.
What a gross.
How tacky. Like, she was like, oh, can you give this to Rowan for me? And, like, gave her number. First of all, how tacky. Second of all.
Like, I'm sorry that if I was the single PTA mom, that is not how I'm going about it.
No.
Petty.
No. Yeah. Yes. And that's how they all are, in a lot of these books. Yeah. The single ones are like, oh, are you the new nanny? Like, they're just so gross.
Yeah,
but
he just finger fucked me in his
right?
office with the door open. Boom.
Bye.
In the kitchen while I'm making pancakes.
In the kitchen with the pancakes.
Turns into Clue.
It is Rowan's fingers in the kitchen with the pancakes.
With the pancakes. As long as it's not with the candlestick.
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, it depends.
Oh, what shape is the candlestick?
Depends on what type of we're spiraling. Or here we go. So anyway, yes, Ellie's dad ends up having a heart attack, and she goes back to Ohio / Maryland. I forget who's in which state. And is basically like, somebody has to take care of him because her sisters, they all have lives. And Rowan ends up. But
also, like, she's always the one. She puts herself in that position.
She does. Like, her sisters are like, you don't have to move home. And she's kind of like, yes, I do, obviously. But, like, she doesn't. She puts herself in that spot, which is a hard spot to be in.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she's not doing it for necessarily, like, attention. She's doing it because she just feels like she has to. She feels like she has no other choice. And that's hard.
She genuinely cares.
Yes. So Rowan and Margot end up showing up, which I love that Margot shows up at the end and is like, if you want us to move here, we will. Like, we all love you, Ellie. We care about you. Anyway, so I think that you should listen or read this book. We gave most of it away, but at the same time, there's still a lot more to it. The actual, storyline is fantastic. There's a great part where Ellie goes out for the night with one of her friends, and I loved that whole part.
Oh yeah.
Um, there's a lot. There's a lot to this. There's a soccer game. It's just there's a lot to the book, and I did. I really, really
Oh yeah,
liked
the
it.
soccer game.
The
Yeah,
soccer
no, I did
game,
too. QB Tyler is just like the daddy queen. Straight up. Daddy queen. Like
I need to
nobody writes
read
a
some more
daddy.
of hers. I've read like
I
a decent bit, but I know you really, really like QB,
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody writes a daddy quite like QB. So, or like just the taboo.
which I love a taboo book. I'm not even gonna
So do
like,
I.
I'm not ashamed.
No.
So we're also gonna get a Rowan's little brother River is
Oh
getting
my
his
God.
own book. The cheerleader
That.
is off limits because he's a football coach.
Oh God.
So I'm like dying for that because does he
I
coach?
am so ready.
He coaches college football, right?
I mean, we're also not like, even if it's high school football, we're like,
I'm like, I'll read it.
listen, I will read it. No, is it college?
I can't remember, but
Yeah.
yeah, River's book comes out this fall. So yeah, the cheerleader is off limits is I believe the title, which I'm excited because I really liked River. He was funny and he
Yeah,
was very much like a good little brother. Like he
yeah,
wanted to help Rowan. He loves those kids, I really
yeah.
like him. So I'm excited to see like the other side of him too. Hopefully the daddy side.
That book is out this fall. So that QB, we got you again if you need some ALC people or some ARC people.
Yes.
We'll
Yeah.
have to get on that. But yeah, I'm very excited to see how his book shakes down. And maybe we'll get like a little snippet of Ellie and Rowan's life.
I hope so.
I'm a sucker for that. Like I love whenever I read series and like even if it's just like a sentence.
Yes. Or like
Because
I really want them to have their own baby also.
100%. I mean, we're breeding kink like hoes. So obviously
Aficionados.
aficionados. We just we are not afraid of a pregnancy trope. We are not like
Mm-mm.
all those happy endings. We're like, breed them, do it. Show
Yep.
me. They had 75 babies. Amazing.
Let me see how many babies they have in the epilogue. Thank you. So, yeah, I hope that we get little snippets. Yeah, if you need something to listen to or read right now, go read or listen to The Nanny is Off Limits by QB Tyler. We cannot recommend it enough. Loved it.
5 stars.
Here for it. Can't wait for River's story.
These little
And yeah,
mini-sodes are fun. We'll be back
they
again
are
with
fun.
another one for sure.
Geeg is now reading the Witchwood Boys series. I just finished it. So I'm hoping if you make it through all four, you don't have to, but I'm hoping we can do an episode on that. If not, it might just be the Mars show and I might talk Witchwood Boys because I loved it.
love that for you, actually.
You'll get on and I'll be like, hey, there's an episode you have to edit. And it's just me
I know, be
talking
like,
to
no, I'm not finished.
Oh yeah, you
I'm
can't listen
80.
to it.
I'm 81% of the way through the first one, and like I'm trying. I just wish everybody would leave me alone so I could read because I just want to, like there's so much.
Yeah. I'll text you about it, but obviously I'm not going to give spoilers here. We just give spoilers for another book. But yeah, after you read The Nanny is Off Limits, go read The Witchwood Boys Are Trending by C.M. Stumich. Love it. And yeah, follow us on socials and we'll be back soon with another episode or mini-sode or something. Thanks for sticking with us.
Thanks, guys.
Love
you.
ya. Bye.